Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alexandra. Welcome back, and welcome to anybody who is new to the channel. Welcome. And also I want to say yay, I made it 100 subscribers. I know it's not a big deal, but it is a huge thing for me because I told myself I was gonna do 100 subscribers this week, and I did. I want to say thank you, and I want to say thank you to anybody who went and shared my video and helped me get to 100 subscribers. I really do appreciate it because that is like a big thing. I wanted to make 100 this week, and I did. So I really want to talk about the look that I'm doing today. It is a very like super like summery bright colors, but I really was inspired of thinking about the ocean, Puerto Rico vibes. If you ever visit Puerto Rico, you know how beautiful the beaches are and how clear the ocean is. So this eye look was really inspired of just thinking about the beach. Last year I was in Puerto Rico, and it just the vibes that this eye look was giving me, just thinking about the island and how beautiful the beaches are over there. So this is where the look was inspired from. And we have mixtures of green and blue in the eye look and a little bit of white. But overall this look is just using blues and greens, and the palette that I use for the tutorial is the NYX Modern Dreamer. If you have this palette, then it will be super easy to follow the tutorial, but if you have similar colors to the palette, it will be easy to still follow it. Just get similar shades, or go ahead and grab different shades of your own and go ahead and create the look while watching the tutorial. And so real quick, if you don't know about this palette, I think it goes for $25 on the website. I picked it up last year, and super pretty. You have, if you ever thought about investing in it, if it's still online, you have your neutrals, you have your brights of colors, and you could definitely smoke out the looks out. Here's your brights, here's some of your neutrals that you can mess around. So it's a really affordable palette and a really good palette for anybody who wants to mess around with makeup, because you have your brights, you have your neutrals, and your dark shades that you could go ahead and do any type of look with this palette. So if you thought about investing in these big palettes that NYX have, they're worth the money, and especially for the quality of what you're getting. Their pigments are always good, and I'm never disappointed on the quality when it comes to NYX cosmetics. So if you thought about picking it up, go ahead and grab that on the website. If they have it on the website, I'll go ahead and link it, or if they don't, I'll find it somewhere else that they have the palette, and I'll go ahead and link it also below. So like I said, very simple look, very simple to follow, not so difficult, because I always say I don't sit here for hours and try to make difficult looks for myself. I'm a mom, I have 2 children, and they're under the age of 10, so you already know I don't have time to sit here and create these really dramatic looks. But I create simple looks for anybody who are busy, who don't have time to sit there and create these out like extreme looks, but easy looks that you could create on your own, and then you could go ahead and do it yourself and go out on any date with this look. So overall, this is the look. I hope everybody likes it. I'm gonna come a little closer and show you the shadows. The only con that I could say is the eyeliner, because if you see, I have a like a pastel, like I'm trying to remember what is the I'm trying to remember the green color right here. So I have a green color here. I'm gonna put the name here when I remember what color is it in my mind, like what I'm best describe the color. It's up pistachio. There you go. It's like a pistachio color right here. So you kind of see it, but it's not as bright, which is okay. That's what I was looking for. But I went with this NYX color on the eyeliner, which is not as bright that I was hoping. And I think I should have went with Wet n Wild's bright blue eyeliner. I think it's a lot lighter compared to the NYX one on the blue one, so that would have definitely popped. But overall, I do enjoy the blue, but I wanted it to pop a lot more, so I think I should have went with the Wet n Wild. But very simple. If you don't have any of these bright eyeliners, you could go ahead and do a black liner. It will still look phenomenal. I just was trying to just sticking in with this color family of greens and blues for the tutorial. All right, so I'm not gonna talk too much, and I also want to say thank you to anybody thank you for anybody who's watching this video, and go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. It will definitely help. And yeah, and that's all I gotta say. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. It's very simple, very easy to follow. Go ahead, grab this palette if you have it, or grab any shades that you want to create that's similar to this look, and go ahead and do it. And I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate that, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, bye bye.
All right, so I wanted to come here and do a quick voiceover because I totally forgot during the beginning of the video to let you guys know when it comes to this palette, there's no names actually on it. It only has numbers, so I'm gonna have a very hard time writing on this screen like I usually do in my videos, telling you what's the name of the color that I'm using. But in the video, I do point out the colors maybe multiple times that I'm using, and actually show it a little longer in the video so you guys could kind of see the shade that I'm using. So I just wanted to let you guys know that situation, because you're gonna definitely see there is no name in the tutorial. All right, so let's go back to the video.
Found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one, yeah, yeah. Isn't that too far away from our hearts? Yeah, yeah. The ones we keep close, we should never let go. So tell me who you love, baby. Take a moment to unwind, fix yourself and realize baby. Breathe slow, baby. Yeah. Ooh. We should breathe slow. 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 We should breathe slow.
Come here real quick and do a little talk through so far of what I have done on my face. So on my face, I set my face up with the Patrick Star with MAC Cosmetic. It was a limited edition collection with MAC Cosmetic that he did for the Christmas time. That was the only product I was able to get, and it was fantastic. I would have loved that MAC would have brought that back. Just, you know, it's just a really good setting powder and does definitely keep any of my oils intact. If I had to alternate and like to use a setting powder to control any type of oils, will be the Jeffree Star cosmetic setting powder. That has been my holy grail ever since I picked it up. I love it. It does hold my oily skin, so I have to be very picky and choosy what I use for my skin, because I do produce a lot of oils, especially in my T-zone area. So I need to make sure the powder controls any oils and it does not separate my foundation when it's after being put together. I did put powder under, and it definitely looks brighter now because of the powder, but the only reason I did that right now is because I have to continue finishing the bottom of my eye, and that's gonna go ahead. Any fallouts, it's gonna be a lot easier to dust it off. Just the only reason I did that. but usually I have moved away from baking under my eye because depending how well, if you're very heavy-handed when it comes to your concealer, if you go ahead and do like a whole triangle, it's going to be more cakey, and then when you do the powder, it will go ahead and crease up on you. As you notice, I went very light on the foundation and I added a little bit more if I needed to go ahead and lighten up this area with the concealer, and that's what I did. For foundation, this is my go-to foundation when it comes to the drugstore. I recommended it to my cousin. It's cruelty-free. If you have not tried it, I love it. I've been loving this foundation and the concealer. I don't have the concealer, but I'll write the concealer right here on the screen. It is my go-to. I'm on light beige with this one. I feel like this is the most accurate color when it comes to any of my drugstore foundation. With the other ones, it could be a little either it's too light on me, or it doesn't really go and doesn't match nicely on my neck. So my go-to one. I love mixing it with the LA Illuminator highlighter, and this I only use this if I'm really just trying to focus and create a certain look. I'll only do it during the nighttime. But if I'm just doing daytime, I would really just put this on, not this. Daytime, just running errands. If there was no, right now I'm not using any foundation right now with the whole requirement of mask, so I'm not using any. But if mask wasn't required, I will usually use this with no illuminator under it, because I just want something just to cover up and clean any of my imperfection. And I like to use a brush just like this, just because it's more that's, and it kind of, I feel like it applies a lot better with this foundation. And then I just go ahead with a sponge to pick up any excess of the foundation I could possibly have. I don't like how it performs with a sponge, in my personal opinion. I don't like it, but I like it with a brush. So I just wanted to come real quick and tell you guys what I did so far on my face, because it could look a lot like it's a lot when I'm doing the makeup. And to clarify more about under the eye, you gotta also remember, depending on your face and how deep is your lines or any wrinkles that you could possibly have, you have to be very careful when you bake, because baking could sometimes lay on the creases of your wrinkles. So you kind of want to be very careful when you bake. I do a different step, but I will definitely share on YouTube on what I do on an everyday basis if I'm going out and what type of looks that I do. But if you ever watch my makeup under my mask, that's almost similar to what I use, but I use a tinted moisturizer for a tinted foundation I think I use on that tutorial, and that's what I use for my face. But I definitely want to do a tutorial on an everyday look using a foundation, so you guys can have an idea how I use this foundation on my everyday basic look if I was going back to work, and how would I wear it and all that shenanigans. So we're gonna get back into the tutorial. I hope it wasn't too much, but I wanted to come here and just clarify what I was doing, so you guys didn't look or feel I was like overly doing under the eyes, because with the voiceover I feel like I could do it, but sometimes it's so much better to have an interaction with the person, and just so you guys could see exactly. So we're gonna just go ahead and jump into the video, finish the look, and then and then I'm doing my intro, and then we're done with this look. And this will be the second look for this week, so which is really exciting.